On tonight's show, we have Psychic and Empath, Raven Willow. And now for your host, KoolKard.
Welcome back to the Kickin It with KoolKard show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, KoolKard. This is episode 229 and counting. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time, I do like to invite you to subscribe. You know, I continue to bring you great guests on here that bring you good value, great conversations. They drop gems, man, and it's all for free. We do this all for you, all right? I do this for you. I cannot do it without you. Tonight, it's not going to be anything less than what I've always brought you. All right, I have a psychic, an empath. She goes by the name of Raven Willow. We are going to dive into some interesting things, some things that you may never even heard about, but I'm pretty sure it's going to spark your interest. I know I'm excited to hear more, learn more about her as a person. First and foremost, you know, I like to humanize the conversation, so definitely want to learn more about her as a person and, you know, just dive into her gifts and her talents. I can't wait, y'all. Here we go. Let's go. Let's get it. Episode 229 is on the way. Raven Willow. Raven, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Let me get myself on camera here. I don't know where I went. There I go. Boom. All right.
It's like I'm talking to myself, but that's okay. Yeah.
Voila, magic. Here I go. No, but thank you so much for joining me on the show. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're right here with me, kicking it with me. So yes, humbly, thank you for being on the show with me tonight. Before I start off,
Me too.
yes,
Thank you for having me.
I had to have you. I had to have you on the show. I am intrigued. I want to know more.
This is gonna be fun.
It is gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great conversation. I could already feel it. Definitely. But before every conversation, I like to pray. Are you cool with that?
Yes.
Cool. I have to ask. All right, let's get it. Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, we just thank you for this moment in time. We thank you for Raven being available to come onto the show, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, and just bless the platform with her gifts, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus. We just thank you for just waking us up today. We thank you for all the little things that we may overlook at times, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus. And we just give you all the victory, all the glory, all the love, all the praise, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, and just govern this conversation, this interview, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, and just us and our families. In your name we pray. Amen. So I am ready to dive in. I need to know some things. I am very
ready for the weird.
No, it's not weird. Not to me. For other people it may be, but I've always been intrigued. It's okay, that's fine. Join us. He has something to do.
He's gotta make his spot on the chair there. Okay.
It's all good. He has something on his mind. Let him get it off.
We're good.
Yes. So yeah, man, I've always been intrigued. And I'm not here to talk about me. We might jump into that later, but I've always been intrigued by psychics and just mediums and all of that.
Because you have gifts too.
Supernatural and all of that, right? I'm very intrigued. I always want to know more. I've never gone and spoken to a psychic or anything like that. Can I say that I won't or have never thought about it? Yeah, I have, right? Because I kind of do want to know more. I just haven't taken that step. So I am very, very excited to learn more as much as you divulge pretty much, everything. I like all my guests to be comfortable with what they're speaking about. You know what I'm saying? All I ask for is just transparency in whatever you speak about. But, if there's some things you don't want to speak about, that's fine. Cool, right? And like I said, I never ask personal questions. I don't like to put anybody on the spot with stuff like that. So just whatever you feel comfortable with speaking of. If I ask you a question, you're like, don't want to talk about that. That's fine, cool, right? So never want to cross the line. But I do want to know. So let's talk about you. All right, Michelle. That is your real name. I'm not gonna give you a last name, but that is your real name. Let's talk about you, the person. Michelle. How did you get here? That's what we want to know. Like growing up, when did you figure out that you had these gifts? When was the first experience for you? Did it scare you? Like that type of stuff. Can you speak about that?
Yeah. I was a kid. Like, I've been down this road since I was a kid.
Okay.
Like, trying to always tell my mom there's monsters in the closet and things, and because there were, but the most vivid thing I remember from childhood is my great grandmother died, and I didn't know her very well because, well, I was a really small child, and she had gotten like pretty bad Alzheimer's and that kinds of thing. Um, but when she died, she came to me, and I was a child, and she presented herself in this cardboard box, but her hair was like sticking up out of the box, and I knew it was her, but I knew she had died, and I was just like, and this went on for months and months and months, and I knew she was like trying to reach out to me, but I was just like hiding under the covers, like, oh my gosh, just petrified. But like looking back on it now, she didn't understand that she died, and she was in a box. She was in a coffin, and she's like, why am I in this box?
Wow.
And so I look at it now, and now I understand it, but as a child you're just like, what is happening? I'm being terrorized by this thing, this person, and I don't know why. Yeah. So
Wow.
that was fun.
So that was
So
the first time. And did
you're
you?
kind of alone in it as a kid, unless your parent like it runs in families, and so my mom and my grandma were very gifted too, but they also didn't really explore it like I have, because not anything negative against it, but they were very much Christian, and their belief systems pretty
Well,
much told
different.
them this was not a route you go down.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, they had the gifts, but they just didn't keep exploring them like I do. Yeah.
So when you and I want to try something too real quick, because you're lagging, like your audio. I hear you perfectly fine, but your video is lagging behind. So I may want you to hang up and call me back. But I'm gonna ask you this question. When you saw your grandma, did you know that it was real though? Like as a kid, did you know that it was real?
Yes.
You did? Like what?
Oh yeah.
Because as a kid
And
we
I
have
knew
colorful.
it, and I knew it was her. Like
Okay.
I didn't know what to do. I was so confused and like, what is happening, and just afraid, like terrorized, and like, how do you tell somebody that? Like,
Right.
what are you gonna tell your parents is happening to you, right? Like,
Did you
they
ever
would,
share
well,
that with anybody? No.
no, like I went through a lot as a kid with spirits and things, and then like you get to the high school age where like some jerk decides to bring the Ouija board to the party, to the kegger, and somebody shows up with the Ouija board, and then that tripped off a whole other episode of bad stuff. But yeah,
So
I
okay,
don't
so
mess with
here's a
Ouija
question for me,
boards.
because I've always wondered
But
about that. Is the Ouija board real? Does it really tap in?
yeah, and you like, I wouldn't even sit in a room, like there are Ouija board masters that really know what they're doing and how to properly close them down and dispose of them if necessary, and whatever, so
Yeah.
that nothing else comes through, because you can't control like you open the door, it's like
Yeah.
everything's coming through it. So I wouldn't. Yeah, that thing came from Kmart, dude. On Kmart. And we're like, man, this is
So
crazy. Like something in a box from Kmart.
so when you okay, so let me ask you. So with the Ouija board, is it all like evil stuff that comes through? Is there any good in it?
Well, a lot of people get good communication from them.
Okay.
But that's the problem. It'll start to cross over, and if you don't know how to control the board and you're not in control, then it just gets all awry.
Wow.
So
How
I
did
just don't mess with it. And plus, I'm a medium, so I don't need it anyway.
right,
Like, I can hear you, I can see you. I don't need.
right,
Yeah.
right, right.
So, but some people, it's their. Some people, it's like their modality, whatever you want to call it, because every psychic works different. So some people, that's their thing, and
Yeah.
that's fine as long as you can control it. Yeah.
So you mean to tell me they packaged this thing up in a box in Kmart and it actually did what it said
Yeah.
they advertised it. It did what they advertised.
It's in
Like
the game section.
I
Yeah.
know. I know. I
Like
was never
there's the
brave
game
enough.
Twister and Monopoly and
And then a dang Ouija board.
I'm
Like
a
I
Gen
was never
Xer,
brave
man.
enough
We
to
we
mess with it. Never. Like, no. Because I know. See, that's the thing.
yeah.
I do know. So I'm like, nah, I'm not fooling with that thing. Like, So let me ask you this. Let me ask you,
It's like
okay, what'd you say? Oh,
oh,
so
go ahead.
your audio is fine, but the video is lagging. Do you want me to have you hang up and call back and see if it'll correct itself, or you just want to continue on? I'll ask you. I just don't want to ever represent anybody in the wrong light.
Yeah. I can do that.
Okay.
I hope it will get better,
Yeah, hopefully it does. I
but it
mean,
definitely wasn't working to try to call you on my phone.
oh, it wasn't. So you're still on your computer?
No. Yeah, I'm still on my computer. It wouldn't even let me log in on the phone. It
Okay,
wouldn't
that's fine.
like
Yeah,
do the
let's
drop
try it.
down
Let's
menus
try
or
it. No
anything.
worries.
So
I mean,
yeah.
the picture looks great now. I mean, before, like I
Okay.
said, it was a little grainy, but now it looks great. The audio sounds great, but it's just lagging. The picture's lagging. So if you want to hang up and just call me right back, we can do it. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. We're on the air, but it's all good.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Oh, I just go with the flow. We'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, one momento. Yeah, let's get it right, y'all. Because I need the conversation to be a great conversation. It is a great conversation, but I want it to be right in the morning hang up. So we'll get that right. She'll be right back on. There she goes. Look, she's already back already. Yep, boom. Let's see if. All right, let's try it.
Right here?
Yeah.
Present,
Yes.
I hope.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There's no lag. Okay, good. Good. Okay, boom. So we're talking about this Ouija board. Like I said, I was never brave enough to do it because I know, right? And I just felt that that wasn't the right thing to do. So I'm kind of glad. But I just never like. Okay, I know, right? But I was just never. It was never proven to me that it actually works. So now you're telling me, given what you are,
Yeah.
right? Like, okay,
Yeah.
I take your word for it. Like,
It was kind of just a bunch of just gibberish, like until it ended up back at my house somehow after one of these parties. Of course, it ends up at my house, right? But it was still just a bunch of gibberish. But then after everybody had left, something came out of like a nowhere
a realm or
and
something?
at me, and it was not a good thing. So yeah, I was like, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not ever gonna fool with anything like that. All right. So you say that you have connections with all the energies on Earth, and then like you can communicate with beings all over the universe. Can you expound on that? Like that's like somebody
Yeah.
hears
So
that. Like I don't even know if they could wrap their mind around it.
right.
I'm
So
there
you
with you.
gotta imagine, get yourself out of like the kind of one God system that created everything, because we're all a part of the universe. Like even the
Right.
tiniest microorganism is part of this gigantic system of the universe. So there's a lot of things at play there. And there are universal beings. They don't like to be called aliens, but I communicate with them often because it's part of my life and my lineage and the work that I do, and then I can see and hear like spirits on earth too. So like yeah, it depends on where the client wants to go. It's called the Akashic Records if I go and read into the universe. So
Okay.
that's a whole different kind of reading than just a psychic reading. But yeah,
And that like you said, that kind of like it kind of explains their universal lineage and
yeah.
lifetimes before
And
this one and all that.
yes, it's like if you go to the Akashic Records, it's the story of everything that's ever existed through all time, and everything makes soul contracts for your lives, and your energy, your soul, whatever you want to call it, retains all of that information. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was already connected to the universe. So it was just like a natural progression for me to just get certified in the Akashic Records too.
Okay, so
So
how
yeah.
does one get certified in that? Being that that's
Um,
being it's
I
like
got a hold of a guy in India.
yeah, makes sense.
it
Okay,
was I took it online, but he was in India. I could see my camera's lagging again, but I'm just gonna continue. Um,
it's all good.
yeah. So he was really cute little fella. He yeah. But that's where I got my certification from. There are people you can get it from in America, but I just wanted to go from the places where the teachings originated in the first place.
Yeah.
So that's why I did it like how I did it. But yeah. And people see them differently, they experience them differently, just like all psychics work differently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Like
So
I see a giant library. Other people see like gears. So it just
okay,
depends.
so these records. So this is not something that's like physically written down. This is all supernatural, right?
Yeah.
And you're reading off of this stuff. So what does a certification course even look like? Like what do you do to be certified?
Well,
To
it is real information, and it is being presented to you, and it is written down,
okay.
but you're getting it through different dimensions from the masters that keep the records. So it is real information, and so you have to learn the discipline of like how people can. I'm a certified Reiki master too, but that's a completely different thing than giving someone a Akashic Records reading. So you have to get certified. You have to learn your craft and learn how to go in there and speak to them, and if they even want to speak to you. If you're not like in a high vibration and just like mellow state of mind kind of person, a happy person, then you're not going to get anywhere with that kind of reading. So, yeah.
And what was you said you're certified in Reiki. What is it called?
A Reiki master. So that's energy work. Um, some people use crystals, some people use oils. There's a lot of different ways you could go through a Reiki session, but
Mm-hmm.
it's working on your chakras
Mm-hmm.
and cleansing them and aligning them, and then giving you energy work to help calm you and all of that stuff. And you
Okay.
could do it to yourself too to get yourself out of anxiety attacks and things. But yeah, it's all just energy work and sending good vibes to people and loving healing vibes. And you can even like feel in their body as you're scanning it if there's a problem with something. Like I don't know, if they broke your knee playing football in high school, I would be able to feel that there's an energy shift there. I wouldn't know exactly what happened, but I'd be like, oh, there's something there on your knee. Yeah.
So how do man, this is interesting. How do you so how all right, so on your in your day-to-day, right? In your day-to-day life and you're not doing a reading, what is that like for you? Do you like I know you feel energy because I feel energy. Like I'm energy's everything for me. Like, I could tell how a person's feeling
Yeah.
before they even know how they're feeling, honestly. They walk into the room
Yes.
instantly.
Because you're an empath.
So
Yes. Yes.
so yeah.
Very
So
strong empath.
yeah. Definitely
You
take
get
on
you
people's
got to learn how to block. Like my daily life is literally like putting up borders and boundaries around me and blocking energy all day because I'm a very strong empath,
yeah.
and it takes a lot of energy out of me to people a lot, which
Yeah.
sucks because I'm a Libra, so I'm like really outgoing, but then it's like okay, I've had like 5 hours of this. Like I'm done
Yeah,
with y'all. I need to
drained,
go hibernate now.
drained. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you know what? I never even thought about it. I never even put two and two together. But that's why I'm like I'm just what is it called? Losing my train of thought. Like I'm an introvert because I don't want to be around.
Yeah.
I, I like people and
Yes.
I'm great with
Yeah.
I come from an entertainment background, so I'm great performing in front of people, entertaining people, whatever,
Yeah.
having a great conversation with people. But at the end of the day, I just want to be alone. I want to be left alone. I need to
Yeah.
recharge, you
Yeah.
know, all this swirling energy.
Yeah.
Like I used to
I
live in New
can't
York
have
City.
people in my space all the time. No way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel you. Like and you
Yeah.
said putting up walls, and I now that you said that, it's like, yeah, I do.
Not walls, barriers.
Barriers, yeah, correct.
Walls are bad.
Yeah, walls
Yeah.
are bad, but I
Yeah.
do put up barriers, and I have to make people respect my time, my peace. I have to know. I love
Mhm.
saying no, right? Have unapologetically no. I'll say it all day because I have to protect my
Oh, yeah.
peace. I have to protect my energy. And some
Yes.
people don't understand that. It's hard for them to understand that. And it's like, well, how can you just say no when somebody
Empaths can come off as like big bitches. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if you know you're an empath and you know your limits, you have to be
Yeah.
like direct
Yeah.
and bold with people. Like, no,
Yep.
I just can't. Like,
You
no.
can't
Yeah.
bend. You can't bend. You really can't. You have to
Yeah.
protect because you're no good to anybody else. If those limits are violated, overstepped, you're drained, you're no good to
Yeah.
anyone, not even yourself. Right? So
Yeah.
you have to be like,
Yeah.
no, that's a
And
hard
people
no.
don't understand that about empaths. And plus, if you're in your own pain, empaths experience pain on like if I'm in extreme pain, it will literally feel like my body is physically being like shredded apart, like
Yeah.
ripped apart. Like it physically hurts me.
Yeah.
So, and then I really have to hibernate. So, like people that date empaths have to just understand we need a lot of alone time and it has nothing to do with you. It's just
Exactly.
us. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I feel it 100%. Yeah. That's that and I've known this, but we're saying it right now, it's just like, oh, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Never really looked at it like
Yeah.
that, but yeah,
My,
definitely a strong
my
impact.
friends laugh at me because like I've been married once and I'll never do that again, but whatever, that's another story for some other day. But they laugh at me because I'm like, my ultimate like relationship scenario would be like, that's my bird. I'm very sorry.
It's
He
all good.
sometimes he has something to say. Um, I'm like a piece of like awesome land. I'm like, I have my little tiny house, but little crib over here, and you could be
Mm,
over here. And when we want to come be together, then we can be together.
right.
Like, and they just laugh, but I'm like, that would be like magical for me. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
you want to go barbecue tonight in the backyard and have date night? Yeah, I'll be over. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense to you, right? Others won't understand, but it makes a lot of sense.
It makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense to anybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, okay, so you
Dating
say you
life.
put up your barriers. You put up your barriers. So it's not like, because I just I want to explain, or I want you to explain to people the experience, what your experience is. Like when you're walking around, you're not just walking around life reading people, right? You sit down, can you tell me about that? Like when you're just living your day-to-day life, you say you put up barriers, but how is that? Like when you see people out in public, like I know you can feel their energy, but do they give off
Mhm.
something to you, like you can feel other things, you can go deeper like just in passing, or is it you have to sit down in a session and really tap in?
Yes. No. I can pick up everything about a person just like I could pick up things. I don't even have to be near them. I could I most of my readings are done remotely.
Oh wow.
So I can read people from distances. But like if I don't really like to go shopping, but like I don't know, throw me in like a grocery store situation. Like, I'm literally putting that bubble around myself before I even leave the house, and I have, like, crystals with me, and I'm like, I try my best, but it still hits me, everybody, and if there's somebody in there that's really negative, like, I'm literally, like, pushing back, throwing
Wow.
energy back to just, like, get back away from me, because people don't realize how they could just splash their negativity all over everybody and,
Mm-hmm.
like, infect the whole place, that
Yes.
it's horrible.
Yes.
Like, they're just like, "Go home." It's like, ugh. Yeah. So, people try not to do that. Like, keep your negative to yourself,
But most people
please.
spread
Yeah.
it, though, right? Because they're miserable. Most people want to spread it.
But
Like,
I know. They
yeah.
don't even realize they're doing it is the sad thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, it's still a constant battle when I go out, and especially if somebody's like, I call them creepers, but basically like those dirty, pervy people that, mess with kids or just
Uh,
weird with women, whatever it is. That kind of person, I am like, I pick up on it in 5 seconds and I'm like running for the door, like, we're out of here. Like, yeah,
yeah.
those kind of energies are like, I can't even stand to be around it for 5 seconds. I'm like, no, I gotta go. Yeah.
Completely understand. Yes. Trust me.
So
Because
good
I feel
times.
it.
Good times with empaths.
Is there ever any time? Is
You
there ever?
never know if you're gonna make it to the end of the concert.
Yeah. Is there
I'm
ever a
just
time
kidding.
that
I always watch the end of the concert.
is there ever a time that you have a hard time like connecting with someone or reading them?
Well, people have been blocked. Like, they've asked me for a reading, but in their mind, they're like completely walled off and blocked off. And so I don't charge them if I can't read them. And it's not that I can't read them, it's they're unreadable. They have too many walls and too many traumas and and I can see all of the things, but it wouldn't do them any good for me to explain that I'm literally seeing playing out in my head this huge trauma that happened to you, but you're not ready to face it yet. I would just be putting people in more trauma. So I just leave it be until they're ready to like actually do the work.
Okay.
Or if they're putting themselves in danger, like they're not protecting themselves, that they're going out and doing spiritual things and they just keep doing those things, like I'm like, no, I'm out. Like, I'm not doing this with you anymore. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So they
So
don't really want
I
that.
I'm more of like the mouthpiece, and then if they want to help themselves, that's up to them. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, they don't want to help themselves evidently. What is when you talk
Yeah.
about talking to other beings and things of that nature, like can you go into detail with that? Like what is that like? Like what is the conversation? What what does that entail? Like what do they give you? What do they want? What do you want out of that conversation? How do you tap into that?
It depends on what I'm asking for. Sometimes I have to ask different ones to come and adjust me, because I'm ascending and ascending and ascending, and your body will start to get out of whack. Like, it's, you could just think of it as negative and positive energy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're in a really negative space, well, you're hanging out with negative people, right? But if you're a very happy person, you don't hang out with negative people. So it's
Right.
the same kind of thing. But and once you start to go on this ascension journey and your vibrations raise, your body needs different things, even food wise. Um, Different conditions that you can have that are affected by your lineage from the stars, the universe. And so I call them in to adjust me. Um, and I've called other ones in to get like more of my story for that area.
Mm-hmm.
But they're always with love, and they always listen. So I've had people ask me about people like being abducted and things. I'm like, I can't speak to that. I know people that have said that it has happened to them. Um, but kind of like me once they learned how to ask questions, and like some of them come across as a little more brash or rude to a human, because in their mind they're very utopian and just like, we're here to do the business that we've got to do with you. So even if I'm calling on them, like a specific group of them are like Octurians, they're very just, they come in, you could feel they have love for you, but they're just very down to business, and this is what we're going to do, and da 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 da, and then they're gone. And so you have to get used to things like that, just like you have to get used to different people, I guess.
Are you speaking? Are you
Yeah.
speaking in the
But
present?
most everything is telepathic.
But are you speaking in the
Yeah.
present tense? Are these beings of the
Yes, this
past, or these
happens
are
in the
beings
present.
that are living in another universe or another realm somewhere?
They're just in a different, yeah, in different realms, different dimensions. They're here. Yeah. They're
Mm.
here now, just like they always have been. But I do have past lives with these groups. So I call on them to help me with different things that I'm going through, whatever it seems to be. Different ones do different things.
Okay. I'm
So
just trying to
yeah.
wrap my.
Or you
Oh,
can call them, have a little light show in your backyard if you want to. But you've really got to be focused, like psychically. But I've done it a couple times. Yeah. And if you even watch shows on Gaia, if you have the Gaia app, there's Dr. Stephen Greer. He does a lot of shows, and he talks about how to call them to you. And I learned that part from him. So, and they have theirs on video. I'm too fascinated to ever like actually have my phone ready. I'm like,
wait.
then
So,
after it's over, I'm like, oh yeah,
so you're saying
where's
that
the phone? Where's the
it creates
camera?
a light show
Yeah,
when they appear?
yeah. So what you do is you have to project your thoughts, like visualize your thoughts and project them out. And you'll start with Earth, because you live on Earth, and then you'll give them your name, like project out your name, and then narrow it down to like, United States, because that's where we are, and then narrow it down to, okay, this is the state I was born in, and show them that, and then the city, but now I'm here, like if you've moved or whatever, and show them your location, but everything's like going on in your mind. And so they have cameras and all kinds of things set up before they start doing this. I don't ever have that. I'm not prepared like them. So you can watch them do it on the Gaia app and some other TV shows, but that's pretty much how you do it. You just have to be really hyper focused on it.
And on like when they
So,
film it,
yeah,
do
if you're
you
good at
actually see the
meditating,
lights?
yeah, you can see them. Oh yeah, they come right in up to people. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
And
You said
what you feel from them, from this experience, is literally like this gigantic love bubble. Like pretty much everybody starts crying when this happens to them, because it's just that really high vibrational love is what you feel from them. And so I know there's like, things that man has made that can fly in the air and look like something from space. So you got to kind of vibe it out psychically still. Like if you see lights in the sky, well, it's like, one, is it a satellite? You can
right.
like get rid of that one pretty easy. But if it's like moving weird and darting weird and all of these different things, man has made things that can do that. They just don't broadcast it.
Right.
So you have to still kind of vibe it out psychically. Like, am I getting energy from this thing, or does it just feel like a machine? So like I've gotten like the machines part of it too, and it's like, whatever, I'm going back inside. Like this is some like dirty black ops thing flying around the sky or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So if you don't get vibes from it, I call it man-made. But you didn't know what kind of conversations you were gonna get into today, did you?
No, but I love it though. I'm just trying to
This
wrap
is
my mind
awesome.
around it. Like I have so many questions. It's just like, oh my god, it's flooding my brain. Spell the app for me. You said Gaia. How do you spell that?
Yeah, so that's Gaia. I'm gonna
G A
spell
I
that
A.
wrong and look like a dork. I have it on my Apple TV. Yeah, Gaia.
Oh, there. You can actually watch it on your Apple TV.
Yeah, Gaia.
And what was that doctor's name?
Yeah, so it's kind of like Netflix, but for Dr. Stephen Greer.
I've heard of that. I've heard of his name before.
So it's like Netflix, but for meditation and yoga and spiritual healing, and then they get into the realms of the UFOs and the contact with the beings, and they got all kinds of shows on there. Yeah.
Okay.
If you're into this kind of world, everybody watches Gaia.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm interested. Definitely interested.
It's like the nerdery for my kind of people. Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out for sure. I'm loving it, man.
So what else are you interested in? Because you are an empath.
What am I interested in?
Do you see spirits too?
I see things.
Yeah, because you're an empath, so I'm like, what else do you see? What else you doing?
Yeah. I see
I'm like, you got other gifts going on. Yeah.
I definitely see things.
Does it scare you?
No. Mm-mm. Not at all.
Okay, good.
Nah.
Well, some things are scary. I've like that happens to everybody, but that can happen with people too. So whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a question I get a lot too in the psychic world. They're always like, "What about the negative spirits and the attachments and the things and the demons and the whatevers?" And I'm like, you can get all that crap hanging out with people too. So I don't know what you're so scared
what about
about.
all the negative people walking around
That's
here?
kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, exactly. What
Right?
about the people you walking by every day? Like it's the same thing. Yeah. Now, so when you talk about
what are you doing about them?
Let's talk about. Actually, you know what? Since we're talking about these beings, right? I have a clip that I took from your YouTube channel. The Evans, is that Evans you were talking about?
Is that Evans? The Evans, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I have a clip. You're talking about them just for.
Yeah. So if you think of, if you think about the Greys, but not so tall and spindly, like kind of like the little Ewok Star Wars version of a Grey, those are Ebens. They're like the shorter versions of them. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play a video, and then we're gonna come back.
I was talking to my cousin about them, I think.
All right, we're gonna play a video, and we're gonna come back. We'll talk about them. I'm interested. Definitely interested. All right, let's go.
Okay.
So these things. So wait, hold on. I'm just my mind is blown right now. So these things, these Ebens, right? Ebens. Okay.
Yeah, the Ebens.
Okay. So do we all have Ebens around us? Do we all? And you said something about when you like realize that you've lost time, like you look up and be like, "Oh, where's the time gone?" Is that what you're saying? Like you're interacting with them and you don't even.
No, you will like actually lose time. Like you'll think it's whatever hour, like you've only spent 10 minutes doing something, but you've lost hours. So you'll lose time. But the gal I was talking to, I was specifically talking about her dreams because I know she can be visited in her dreams a lot easier. So that's how they're coming to her. So she's looking for them in her dreams, but they like earth and they like nature. So that's why I was saying they're kind of like little elementals, but they're not technically elementals. They're from the universe, but they love like nature. And so that's why they're in her garden, and her little girl sees them and talks to them all the time. So yeah. That's why we had that big discussion about the Ebens, and they were there to help the little girl more specifically than her mom. But yeah.
So they make themselves visible to children
because she just lost her dad. Anybody that's open, like you have to be open to things, to see things.
Mm-hmm.
So people that close their mind off, like, they'll say, well, why can't I see ghosts if you can see ghosts? Like, like, well, can everybody sing? No.
Right.
Everybody's got their own thing. And even people that are psychics, not all of them see spirits.
Right.
Some of them just feel them. So it's even different there. So you just got to keep your mind open, and whatever is like your thing, like it'll all come together and start gelling, and then you'll start attracting like more of your guides, and the more open you are to things, the more you're going to see. But if you're closed off in your mind, then you're just going to be stuck there.
Yeah. Man.
Sadly.
I'm yeah, I see things. I don't know, like I'm not as tapped in as you are, right? So I may not be able to explain, and I haven't done any research or whatever. I just feel what I feel, I see what I see, I know what I know, but yeah. I would love to know more though. So I'm so happy that, you were able to come on the show and just talk about this and kind of shed some light on some things that I've never even heard of, honestly. But it all makes sense though, right? It just it makes sense. The energy psychology, I saw that on your website. What is that all about? Did you speak on that already? But you didn't call it energy psychology. What is that?
Yeah. No. So it has nothing to do with mental health, by the way, even though it says psychology. It's just what it's called. So it's working with like the meridian lines in your body. You can trace different spots and lines and go down your arms in different ways and your legs, and to release tension and also help your body heal in different ways. So you can trace certain meridian lines to help with stomach problems, with headaches, with inflammatory problems. You can also use them to decide if a certain food is good for you, decisions that you can't make, with a clear head, like you're just back and forth about it.
Right.
So there's like the weight tests on your arms and sway tests for those kinds of things. But that's basically what it is the meridian lines in your body. It's just using energy to clear yourself of funk.
Okay.
And you can do it by yourself. Some of them run down your back, though, so some of them are a little harder unless you live with somebody. But yeah, most of them you can do by yourself. Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about?
So anybody that comes to me and with a problem that can be fixed with it, then I just show them the meridian line to trace, and then we move on. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I was gonna say, can you tell me a little bit more about like our past lives? Like, what am I trying to say? Like, so we've all had a past life. Is that correct?
We've all had many. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what is what is our purpose when I don't want to use the word reincarnated, but what is our purpose? Do you know, like, what is our purpose for moving through one realm or one dimension to the next? We pass on from this life and then we move on to the next. Like, what is the purpose of that? Like, supernaturally, I don't want to get into like religion or anything like that.
Well, every life is different. So like in the Akashic Records, they call them soul contracts. You make a soul contract for every life that you live. Mm-hmm. But it has possible futures. Like you can make your life what you want it to be, but you're agreeing to certain terms to come and live at a certain time and deal with certain things and whatever happens. But the next life, you don't know until you make your next soul contract. So, and who knows how long your energy needs to like stay around, maybe for other people, or you never know when it's your time to move to the next thing. And then whatever that next thing is, you agree to it, and then you live that life. And it's supposed to be an ascension process. So we basically, people that started like in the universe as these universal beings that you have to like descend to kind of live on Earth, because let's face it, humans aren't exactly the best thing in the world. We're kind of angry all the time and violent and whatever. Um, so we had to like kind of descend to be able to live in these bodies when we've come from those places. And then you'll notice just people that you're around, and especially you, because you're an empath, you can notice people that don't function on a very high frequency. Those are the people that are always in the negative places.
Right.
And then you notice the people that function on the very high frequencies. So that's the ascension process. And you'll start to get glimpses of these past lives the more you ascend and raise your vibration, because your mind is opening to more and more and more, and you're emptying out your subconscious, and you're like allowing yourself to experience all these things that your energy's already gone through. So it's really quite interesting. It's fun, but sometimes you have to go through the past lives that were bad, because everybody has them. Those just absolute horrid freaking lives.
Right.
So you got to be prepared for that if you're gonna get a past life reading in any way. But I don't know, you might find out you're Jack the Ripper or something, but you never know what's gonna happen when you go down your past lives. But hopefully you learned.
So
yeah.
when you give a past life reading, you can see exactly.
So it's all a learning process.
You can see exactly who someone was in a past life.
Yeah, I get names. Sometimes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Sometimes I could just see the time and the place and the whatever, but sometimes I get very specific. Like I've seen people that were on the Titanic. I have seen somebody that has killed me in a past life. I'll get like very specific things, and then sometimes it'll just be like the time and the place, and you lived this way, and they'll put it together kind of themselves. So that's what people don't understand about psychics. We get like bits and pieces to the puzzle, and we're putting it together this whole time that we're doing this reading, and then it'll start to click with the person, and it's their job to finish putting the puzzle together, because it's not my life, it's not my story, it's your story.
Right.
So we're just like the launching board to like get you going on that story.
Do we ever get glimpses ourselves, like say in like dreams or something, but we just don't know that it's that? Do we?
Oh yeah. People can get them in dreams. I've started to see mine just in visions that came to me, and I knew it was me because I know myself. Like I knew it was me. But also even people that say they hate history, like I'm a total history nerd, but even if you hate history, everybody is interested in something in history.
Yeah.
So that's normally an indicator of a past life. Yeah.
Okay.
So even if you're like obsessed with military history, well, you were probably served in some kind of military once down the line somewhere. And if you get more specific and you're like watching Roman documentaries all the time, well, you're probably a Roman soldier, It kind of works like that. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I want to ask you about you said on your website that you do psychic healing, empath healing, like other psychics, other empaths. Like what does that even look like, and why are you healing them?
Because I call it empath down. When I'm down, I'm like empath down. And I have to like call on guides and angels to help heal me. But when people get attacked by negative things, depending on the severity of it and the power of that thing, whatever it is, you need healing from people. So it's just like a child going to their parent to get comforted and healing when they get hurt. Like other psychics and empaths need to go to other people to get healed too. So I'll have to go to a Reiki session with somebody else sometimes if I've been hit too hard. So yeah,
Got it.
same thing.
Okay. Well, tell everybody where they can get in contact with you if they would like a reading. And I do have a coupon here, $50 off your first reading if you tell her that
Yeah.
you saw her on the Kickin It with KoolKard show. So tell everybody it's there, but tell everybody where they can find you and how they can get a reading and
Yep.
what they should expect.
Everything is the same name. It's Psychic Empath Raven Willow. Add a .com to that. That's my website. That's my Instagram. That's Facebook, TikTok, if that still exists. Who knows what's happening there? YouTube. It's all the same name.
Okay.
So you can message me on any one of those platforms and book your session. You don't have to go to my website, but there's a lot of articles and classes on my website. So even if you can't afford a reading right now, you can access those materials and start yourself on a learning process just from that. And I've written them all and recorded them all. It's all of my writings, my everything.
Okay.
So yeah. And the sessions normally last about 2 hours. I do your reading before I even meet the people, and then I put it all in a PDF, which takes a really long time, so that you have it like professionally and can like look back on it if you want to. So yeah, the whole reading is done before I even meet the person. So as soon as I'm done with the reading and have the PDF done, then I contact them and say, okay, when do you want to do your session? And then we do their session. And I normally never record them. Like the one that you saw, it's very rare that I record them.
Right.
Because I treat my clients like HIPAA. Like their private lives are their private lives. But if they give me permission to do that, then I will put them on YouTube. So there is a few of them there that people can watch, but not many. And that's the reason why, is I don't talk about my clients and I don't air what they go through, because it's a lot of personal stuff comes up. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. What one last thing I saw, past life regression. What is that?
That's the same thing we were talking about, just going through your past lives.
Oh, okay.
So even if you just want to stay on Earth, that past life and knowing those past lives and what happened can help you improve this life, because you still retain that information and those patterns and just different things like that, and you can help clear that to help raise your vibrations.
Okay.
If it was negative. If it was positive, you can use it to like raise your vibrations too. So either way, yeah.
Okay. Man, my mind is so like, my mind is like blown right now. I don't even.
I can tell I'm totally either confusing you, or you're like, what is with this chick? Or I
No,
don't.
no, 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 no.
This is
Nothing,
awesome.
nothing of the was with this chick. No, trust me, I'm there with you, honestly. But it's just like it's so much information. I know I have a million more questions, and we don't have time for it. But
I
I know I have a
know.
million more questions. I'm like, yeah, I might be emailing you like, hey, what? I don't know.
I do
But
podcasts multiple times. Like it's typical standard. Like I do podcasts multiple times. They're like, you got to come back because we didn't get to this. I'm like, that's cool.
yeah,
Like it just happens.
I
Yeah,
definitely
you
gotta have.
can email me and whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
we definitely got to do this again for sure. Because I'm telling you, like, my brain is like crowded right now. It's just all over the place, and I know I have questions. I know I have more questions because it's just so much to digest.
I will have better signal and internet if we do this again, because I'm in the process of moving. I'm not gonna
Okay,
tell
no
anybody
worries.
where, but once
No
I
worries.
get there, I won't be functioning on portable internet anymore. So sorry about the internet, folks, but it will be better.
Hey, as long as we can hear you and we can see you, it's just a little lag, so it's all good. Like I said, but I wanted to start over,
Yeah.
cut it off and come back on to see if we can correct it. But it is what it is. It's a great conversation. We can see you, we can hear you, so it's all good. So I just want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. Really,
Yeah,
really,
I know why it's doing it. So
really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, we know, so it's all good.
yeah, this was awesome.
Yes, likewise.
And you gotta tap into those gifts because I can tell that you want to so bad. Like you're just like, give me more, give me more, give me more. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I've
Good
always been
show.
intrigued, always been intrigued. So maybe I will. Maybe I will. I know it's there. And I do
Awesome.
I accept it and I know what it is and I like I said I see things and I use it a little bit, right? I use it a little bit, but not like you. So
Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah.
it's all good. Yeah. So thank you so much. I really
Someday.
appreciate it. I love this. Definitely want to hear more. So I will definitely have you back on the show for sure. And yeah, man. So everybody, if you would like a reading,
Awesome.
I showed you the coupon. You can
Score.
get $50 off. Just mention that you saw Raven Willow on the Kickin' It with Cool Card Show. All of her information is down below. Her website, links, so on and so forth. YouTube, if you want to go over there and check out a couple readings. Like she said on her platform or website, she has some writings, some material that you can go kind of get some teachings, learn some things before, if you kind of got cold feet, if you're kind of skeptical and getting a reading, maybe you need to read the teachings, the readings, and it kind of warm you up and you can dive in. But it is there. So like I said, thank you guys for tuning in. You know where I'm at every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, kicking it with someone cool like Raven Willow. Thank you so much, Raven. We are out of here. Until next time, peace and love. We kicked it.
Awesome. Peace.